Greenland is a disaster action flick available now on Amazon Prime in North America, directed by Roman Waugh and featuring Gerard, Butler, Morena, Baccarin. It's an unusual disaster flick. It's basically about a structural engineer who has to help his estranged wife and son get to safety before this disaster brings our world to a halt. And it is not the unusual fare. Let's be honest, we have seen disaster movies out there and plenty of them, and a lot of them are incredibly fun. Greenland creates a niche on its own by focusing not so much on the disaster and the spectacle, but focusing more on the drama and how much we need to do sometimes to keep our family safe. Let's be honest, this current world has been challenging, and the things that we have to sacrifice and we have to do to keep our families fed and happy is quite a lot. So I think a lot of us will be able to relate to the plight of the main characters, which is trying to keep it together, stay together, and act in a rational way in a situation that's extraordinary. I don't want to divulge too much about the plot. The film is definitely worth your time, but you have to go into the film with the right mentality. This is not your spectacle as the main point of the movie. This is not your 2012 where you could have a limousine driving through Los Angeles as the earth is splitting underneath you and fly an airplane in between falling skyscrapers. No, this is a film that focuses on the family drama, on what the family goes through in the midst of this disaster, on what it takes to physically and mentally be able to survive such an extreme situation. And both Gerard, Butler, Morena, Baccarin, and the supporting cast do an amazing job in making you feel part of the action, even though you don't focus as much on the action. As a mid-budget film, this film spends the money in the right spot. It is not about seeing a disaster happening and leveling an entire city to the ground. It is more about the moments that make the disaster look cool. And then it's about focusing on what's the family going through. That is the interesting part. The way you go in and see this film needs to be focused on that. You're not going to look at things exploding as much as you're going to look at what the events do to the family. That's what made the film refreshing and unique and unexpected. But because of the direction, I honestly feel that this makes this movie as one of my favorite disaster movies because it makes it fresh and unique in the midst of great and some not so great disaster. Greenland is also very special because of certain side characters that come in later in the game. I don't want to spoil who and what they do, but I feel that that little oomph to get you to the last part of the film's climax, it's really brought in not only by the main characters, but by a supporting character, and that was just great. And I loved that. I really think that was an unexpected but very welcome surprise. Greenland, available on Amazon Prime. You should check it out. It's an unusual disaster flick. I'm Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Thank you for watching.